Thank you guys for checking out this newest episode. On this episode, we have Dallas Cowboys fan and fellow PVAMU alum, Shamaria Knowles. And we talk about her time at PV, how she became a sports writer, also the NFL draft. What does she think about her Cowboys? And does she believe that the Cowboys and Texans are an actual rivalry? Time to find out. Thank you guys for checking out this episode. What is going on, y'all? Thank you guys for checking out this newest episode. Now, we got another special guest in the building. Now, I enjoy when guests show up, and I'm enjoying when I have fellow PB alum on the show with me. Today, we have Prairie View A&M alum, I believe, don't quote me, Shamaria Knowles. How you doing? How you doing today?
Hey guys, I'm good.
Appreciate you taking on. Appreciate you coming on. It's been a while. It's a long time coming. I've been waiting for this one interview right now. I've been waiting because just to give the people a background. Me and you mostly just communicate on social media. We haven't really talked in person. I think I've seen you one time when the whole communication week going with Stevie H. Smith came down. So
yeah,
it's been a long time coming. So we're gonna get started with this. So about Prairie View now. I'm not gonna call you, a super fan because there are some people at Prairie View that's like way over the top. But I know that you were pretty big at Prairie View, so I just kind of want to speak about your time at Prairie View and what do you enjoy the most out of being at PV?
Prairie View taught me a lot. I miss it. I can say that, and that's where I really found my love for writing sports and covering sports. I covered, football, basketball, golf, baseball. I covered all the sports that I didn't think I could get into, and here I am today. I can only say thank you, Prairie View, because without them, I wouldn't be who I am today, and that's just for a fact. Like, if it really wasn't for my mentor calling me at 6 o'clock in the morning and telling me to wake up to go cover a football story, I wouldn't be here. So it's crazy from where I came from my freshman year to where I am now, and it was all because of the 6 o'clock in the morning phone call. Random too, so it was like
just meant to be.
Yeah, it was really just meant to be.
Yeah, I've been speaking of I know you ended up writing for the Panther, which is the school newspaper, and now you kind of gave the backstory about how that happened. So it really wasn't to PB you started doing sports writing?
Yeah, in high school I was not involved in sports writing at all. I really didn't get into that till my second semester in my sophomore year. And what happened, give you the story, my mentor, Miss Reed, she called me and was like, the Panther is going to have an opening. I need you to go talk to the old editor-in-chief. And I told her, I was like, I have no background in this. She said, you're a communications major. You love football. You love sports. What's so hard about it? So, I took the chance. And my very first game, I take it back, it was the first semester. It was, beginning of fall 2012. She told me that I had to go on a trip. We were playing Southern. If you remember that year, that was the year Southern cheated us out.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And that was my very first story I ever in my whole life wrote about football. The feedback I got off of that made me want to keep going. When the article finally came out, everybody kept saying they felt like they were at the game. And I went into depth that much in the article. And it just made me, really love covering football. And then when I got a platform of being able to write about anything when I became the sports editor, I was able to cover the NFL. I was able to do basketball when I felt like it. I was able to do, different stories within the athletics at Prairie View. So it just it blossomed really quickly, and from that point on, was traveling with the football team to games, and that's how me and you met, social media, Twitter, and then I was able to interview Stephen A. Smith. And one thing that Prairie View actually, let me do went to cover the NCAA women's Final Four, and I went up there when Prairie View had to play UConn. So it was just endless opportunities that I was able to come across at Prairie View just because off of one phone call.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that Stephen A. Smith thing. Obviously that was the big thing. Cause just for me, just to be able to see him and actually get a picture with him, but for you, it was like, what was that like? I think did you introduce him at another event afterwards or something like that?
Yeah, it was our communications week, and I'm a mass comm major with a concentration in journalism and broadcasting, and the guy over communication, he was like, I'm picking you to introduce Stephen A. Smith. And for weeks, I had been knowing, but I couldn't say anything about it.
Of course.
And at that time, I was nervous. I didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, we have this big prominent figure coming to our campus. This guy is on First Take every morning. I watch this guy. I watch him go in on my Cowboys every day. How can I do this?
Right.
So I had to put, me being a fan of his and me being somebody I look up to, who I want to work with in the future, to the side and actually just talk to him like a normal person and interview him. And once that time came, it flowed so easily. And I gave him one of my articles. I'll never forget. I gave him one of my articles to read, and he told me I had a gift and told me that one day I will be working in the field that I want to work in. So I keep that as motivation to keep me going, to know that I actually have that on tape, film it somewhere. Somebody I know who has it. I need to get it from them, but they actually filmed him saying that. And for him to say that, it was just, my heart just went just like, wow. He said this about my article. So I had to introduce him at our dinner that night where we received our awards. We didn't win, the sports section didn't win any awards, but for me to get up and, give Stephen A. Smith's background, and then him get up right afterwards and say, she has the gift, to the whole crowd, it just makes, it just pushes me even more to achieve my dreams.
Yeah, that's some big time stuff. I'll say this too. I got a picture of this man. I'm actually looking at my picture right now. I forgot that he was a little bit taller than I was. I was like, oh, cause you see him on TV, you think this man is short. I said, no, he got some height on him. But
yeah, he's actually very tall.
Yeah. So, but we're gonna keep going further. So let's just say that you didn't get that 6 a.m. phone call. You didn't get the chance to write for the Panther, and that leads to what you're doing today. What would you be doing?
I really don't know. Probably what I do every day, argue sports on Twitter. I had to face the reality. I'm second year in college. I also had to get internships for my degree plan and everything. And I didn't know what exactly I wanted to do. I always knew I wanted to work with sports, but I didn't know what: radio, broadcasting, writing. So, if I did not get that 6 a.m. phone call, I really don't know. I would have probably just, goofed around and tried to find some type of internship. But I'm glad I got that call. I really can't answer what I'd be doing, because I don't know. I can't imagine my life without sports. I really can't.
Yeah, you talk about destiny, man. That is some big stuff. So, just a generalized question before we kind of get into what we're going to really talk about. So, what is about just sports in general just like exciting? Just like the storyline behind it, the entertainment value you get, or just maybe just how you connect with your family over sports? Like, how do sports really work in your life?
Well, ever since I can remember, it's probably like 7 or 8, I've always been watching sports with my dad. And I remember the day Emmitt Smith broke the rushing record. I was watching the game with my dad. And from that point on, I told my dad, I blame him for me being a Cowboys fan because that was the point where I knew I'd be a Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
And growing up for so long, being the oldest daughter, my dad treated me like I was the son he never had. So it was always this sports, whenever sports are on, it's always me and him. And that's how, I fell in love with sports. I fell in love because of him. And he put me in punt, pass, and kick because my dad wanted for Louisiana one year when he was younger. And so, sports in my life, I cannot wake up one day without sports. I'm literally constantly checking ESPN. I'm constantly checking the NFL website. I'm constantly talking to, bloggers and radio hosts and things like that just about sports randomly about it. And sports to me plays a huge factor in my life because if anybody knows me, they know if football season is not around, I am the worst person to be around when football is not on. I don't know what to do with my life. I really don't. When football season ends, I'm automatically looking for the draft, looking at the college football, I'm looking to high school football, and it's like, okay, I don't know if I have a problem, but I think I have a problem because my life without sports, my life doesn't exist. And it's crazy to say that, most people think, oh, she's a woman, she's just saying that. No. What day have you known me not to say anything about sports on any level? Right. That's how much sports mean to me.
Yeah, I feel, and you know what? I'm gonna make a couple more notes before we can move forward. One thing I will say too, it is a great thing to see more women do stuff that supposedly only men can do. Like, I know that it's only 2018, but we still got somewhat of a ways to go to kind of get things, I guess, balanced out per se, if you must. Also, I would say this about, how you became a Cowboys fan. So, of course, down here in Houston, wasn't much to really talk about, especially when the Oilers left. And I know my dad used to always watch, Cowboys games, and so, that didn't really. I guess I didn't become interested till the Texans just showed up. It just happened to be a coincidence that they just showed up at the same damn time. So I didn't really show up in sports in general until like 2000 with the Comets winning 4 straight. Rockets, I guess they're getting Yao Ming, and yeah, the Texans showed them in. I guess the Astros kind of fell in there somewhere, but interesting thing how just kind of the sports get into your life and you just can't, like you say, go without it. So.
All right.
But we're gonna get into main topic. So the NFL draft recently happened, and of course, at this point, everybody knows who went where. You got Mayfield with the Browns at number 1, Saquon Barkley at number 2, Darnold at number 3. You have Josh Rosen at number 10. You also have moves like New Orleans Saints trading up to get Marcus Davenport at 14. Of course, we know the whole thing with Lamar Jackson and not really having an agent or whatnot, but I'm actually about that later on. But he went to number 32 to the Ravens. Also, just for my Houston Texans, only first pick we got was Justin Reed, who's actually the brother of Eric Reed, who is guess who I just found out like 10 minutes ago is suing the NFL now for the collusion. So, but that's that's another topic in itself. But I'm gonna ask you. So, what is the one draft pick that has you like, what the hell this team is doing? What's the one draft pick?
I can say that whole first round. What probably got me was the Saints giving up the 27th pick and moving up to get somebody that I know was going to fall to the second or third round that they could have got. I can't think of his name right off the top of my head.
Marcus Davenport.
No, yeah, for them to give up all of that, I'm just it shocked me, and I can't even say because I knew who the Cowboys were going to take. I had been knowing after all the mock drafts that I had to do, and the other writing things I had to do also. I had been knowing for the longest they was not going to take who I wanted them to take. Also, Baker going number 1, I just, I don't, that, it shocked a lot of people, but to me it was just like, it was common sense, but then it was just like you knew this was going to happen. It was between him and Sam Darnold.
Right.
So, that whole first round was like a okay, oh my gosh moment for me. All the trades and things like that. That that's really what got me. Honestly, it was just really the whole first round. Even to see Derwin James keep dropping and Calvin Ridley keep dropping, and I was hoping the little glimmer of hope in my that I had that the Cowboys would trade up 2 spots to get Derwin James. But it didn't happen because my front office, we're not going to speak on that right now. But they're not the smartest bunch of apples,
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with our draft pick. I went back, watched film and everything, and I think the biggest surprise to me had to be the Baker Mayfield and the Saints move that they did. So, yeah.
The Baker Mayfield thing really wasn't as shocking personally to me because it's more so of, you want your quarterback, you go ahead and go get him. You don't wait until maybe he'll be at number 4. So you just go get him. You let the Giants get Barkley, so especially if it's just between him and Tim Darnold, So that, and the Saints thing was just like, because the original thought was, okay, you don't do this unless you get a quarterback. Right.
Correct.
And then
I'm thinking they're going up to grab
Lamar Jackson. Right.
And which I would have loved. Nobody knows this, but everybody gonna know this now. I don't hate the Saints. Everybody thinks I hate the Saints. I don't hate the Saints. I hate Saints fans. I have to troll the Saints 24/7. But honestly, deep down I grew up watching the Saints because my mom is a Saints fan. And I actually watch the Saints also hoping that they succeed. But, I have to put on the front that I actually hate them, but I don't hate the Saints. I'm actually, I root for the Saints. I rooted for the Saints in this past, postseason because my team wasn't there and I wanted the Saints to do something. That's just another organization I have respect for.
Right.
And I have a lot of respect for that organization. But don't tell nobody I said that, but I do.
Yeah, I won't tell the world. Hey, Shamaria, you like the Saints? I ain't gonna tell nobody else. Nope. But okay. So within the draft, we spoke about Baker Mayfield. So everybody, of course, Baker Mayfield has some issues. I guess you can call them issues. I don't know. I don't want to call them character issues, but he has some events. So people is like, okay, so Johnny Manziel 2.0. Like, is that really a fair or legitimate comparison, I should say?
The good old Johnny and Baker Mayfield comparison. I personally don't think they're the same. They were just on their high horse coming out of college. I think Baker will succeed more than Johnny in Johnny's whole career, his small career that he had. But just to me, I just think, those comparisons, I think Baker's head, he's a little bit more level-headed than Johnny was. And I think Baker actually have a great, successful first season with the Browns. But it's all, we'll all have to see. But to me, Baker I think he's a little cocky, but he has something to prove because of these comparisons.
Right, not to mention that he was like a walk-on like twice, like I think earlier at Texas Tech and at Oklahoma. So it's not as if, he coming from a affluent situation as Johnny Football. 'Cause I think that's really what people kind of miss the boat there when you try to make these comparisons. And I think Cleveland, at least for Baker's sake, might be the best place because now he gets to focus on the actual game itself. Cause who does anything in Cleveland? What they do in Cleveland? I mean, I don't think LeBron.
Right. And I think now Cleveland has a little bit more weapons for Baker. They got Josh Gordon. They got Jarvis Landry, and man, I cannot wait to see an offense with them. I really can't. I want to see Josh Gordon in a full season.
Man,
and
Houston wants to see Josh Gordon in full season.
Yeah, I'm praying he has a full season because that is somebody who I've, done articles, I've done interviews over him so many times, and it's just like he has so many people doubting him, and I just want him to go out and show that he's on the right path now. And with Baker, Baker has an arm on him. Baker's gonna find a way to get him the ball.
Right, right. Yeah, personally, I hope Gordon shows up because you already know he's from Houston. He actually went to my old high school before I got there. Around the same time I was there. So I'm hoping that he just kind of get himself together. So then also I want to kind of add this in real quick. Since we're talking about quarterbacks, people really had issues with Josh Rosen the entire process. Like, I mean, it was it was the weirdest thing. I didn't know really what to do with it because it was just like, okay, now you got this first you got this rich kid, and as a court, and then he has something like, okay, if football don't work out, I'll be fine regardless, which I didn't have much of a problem with because now he's just, to me, he wasn't like pressing. He wasn't trying to like stress it out. That's just me personally. And then really people got upset when he was just like, there are 9 mistakes drafted ahead of me. And people got mad. I was like, why are people getting upset of the Josh Rosen feeling so highly of himself? Like, which is also. All right, go ahead.
I had no issue with what he said at all. I'm one of those, if you feel like somebody was taken ahead of you and you know you're 9 times, 10 times better than them, you gonna talk your game or whatever you gonna say, but you better back it up.
Well, yeah.
You best believe you gonna have to get on that field and back it up. And any mistakes that you have, they gonna bring up that clip of you saying there were 9 mistakes taken ahead of me. So you better believe that if you get on that field, you better do something to prove that those 9 mistakes were actually mistakes.
Yeah, like I said, he's been on record saying it multiple times. So he better he better show out. And I'll say this too, real quick. For Baker Mayfield and Josh Rosen being the quarterback position, it's kind of refreshing to see a little bit more personality. In a sense, because you have a lot now. Because as we learn in recent history, especially with Cam Newton, people hate personality at the quarterback position, and to me, it's like that should be like the one spot where you want the guys to show their emotions and their, passion, because that's the leader of the team, right or wrong. Doesn't matter how good you are. The quarterback is the leader of the team, and if he can't just get the troops galvanized, then what season are you going to have? Truly, so
correct.
It is.
So I feel like him going into his rookie season with this mindset, it can either do one or two things. It can break him, or it can motivate him to lead his team to the playoffs or something like that. And if I'm not, he went to the Cardinals, correct? Yeah.
The Cardinals traded up for him.
Yeah. So the Cardinals are in a pretty good, they're in a good division, and they have a pretty good, decent team around him. He got Larry Fitzgerald, who everybody wants to play with the GOAT. I love Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
I respect him. He's probably like one of my top wide receivers. You already know who my number one is.
Yeah.
But he's one of the ones that I have the utmost respect for. And he has some weapons. They just picked up Bryce Butler from the Cowboys, who I honestly, deep down, don't think will make the team. And that's because, on personal just of why I feel that way, because with Bryce Butler, but they also got another receiver. They got a receiver up there from Grambling. So I think Josh Rosen will have.
Yeah, I'm here. You come up.
Okay. And he'll prove to them that there were not mistakes taken ahead of him.
Right. So we're going to see how it all works. Like, Cardinals are in a good place. They just had Carson Palmer retired. Quick question though. Do you feel like Lamar Jackson not having an agent got him drafted late in the first round?
No, because Lamar Jackson was one of the top QBs in this draft, and if anybody wanted him, they could have taken him. What I do believe hurt him was that teams actually wanting him to work out as a wide receiver. I mean, as at a different position, and teams were just passing on him, and they don't know what they passed. They passed up on a great quarterback, and I don't think having an agent, hurt him to say the least. Do I think that it could have helped him a little bit? Yeah, but if teams just didn't want him, the teams just didn't want him. Point blank, period. To me, that's how I view it. And honestly, I really, really hope he gets that, starting role this season because he will like the NFL run. That's just me. I love
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson. I am a huge fan of his. Glad he went to the Ravens. Glad they traded back into the first round to get him because I thought they were going to take them with their first pick, but they didn't. And when I saw them trade back in for the 32nd pick, I knew right then and there that's who they were going to take, and that was a steal for them. They got him. They got their QB. They got their future franchise QB. To me, he'll be that franchise QB in the long run. So I don't think not having the agent hurt him. I just think teams just were passing on him.
Yeah. Shout out to Ozzie Newsome. That is his last draft as GM of the Ravens. So he went out with a bang. And I would say this
He really did.
And I say this too, man. Joe Flacco guaranteed money does run out after this season, so could be on the field sooner than people think. So
Right.
we're gonna keep moving along. So you kind of gave us a little glimpse of what you think the Cowboys did in the draft. So you had to give an overall grade to the Cowboys. What would you give them?
A B minus.
Okay.
A B minus. I don't have one pick that I just didn't like with the Cowboys. Leighton, we're gonna have a love-hate relationship because of the number that he was taken at, number 19. When there was value left on the board and they could have gotten Ridley, we could have traded up and got Derwin James, It was so much value left on the board at 19 that we could have gotten, but I understand the pick. I totally understand the pick. When I went back and watched this film, I actually told a few of my Cowboys fans that I had to tell them to calm down and go watch the film. Even though this guy has had 2 serious neck injuries, when he's not injured, he's a dog.
Yeah.
He's another Sean Lee. And I really think, if he can stay healthy, he'll be okay. So that's what I'm praying for. The others, the Gallup, the receiver, we lost my beloved Dez Bryant, and I had a whole ceremony with that Friday the 13th. If anybody noticed, I did not talk to anybody that day. I cried and I cried. And getting Gallup, he's not the receiver who I wanted to say, but he's not a bad receiver. Also, us getting Tavon Austin. Anybody knows the Cowboys offense, we are a run-first team, and we do like to get, run running backs and receivers out of the backfield at times. And getting Tavon Austin gives us that momentum to do that. With the other pick, getting Bo from Alabama shocked me. I was driving and
Oh yeah.
hurt, and I was like, "Wait, we did not just pick up Bo." And then I started thinking, I was like, teams are gonna be tired. They're gonna be very, very tired. They're gonna get Zeke, and
Right.
Zeke is a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Then you're gonna see Bo come in. You're not gonna know what to do. You're gonna be tired from tackling Zeke, and then you're gonna have to tackle Bo. We got a tight end, our newest tight end, because everybody knows Jason Witten is on his way out, and football gods finally answered my prayers. I am a huge Jason Witten fan. He's a Garrett guy,
Yeah.
but he is one of the best tight ends that ever played his game. But it was time for him to hang it up. He had to hang it up.
Right.
That's just me. But overall, I give the Cowboys a B minus in the draft because we addressed all the needs that we needed. Our offensive line, we got Connor Williams from Texas, and that was one of my favorite picks. I've watched Texas because everybody knows Malik Jefferson, who went to the Bengals. I've been following him since his high school career, and he's like an adopted little brother that I have. And so watching him down there and then watching Connor Williams, I have been watching Connor Williams. So to see him get drafted by the Cowboys and to know that, our offensive line is going to be back to where it was back in 2016, dominating. And I really believe our front office addressed everything except for the defensive tackle and safety position that we do have a need for, but we can get some of those still. We can still get some of those before training camp happens. And so I believe that they know what they're doing to an extent. I still think they're not the smartest apples in the tree. They're not, but I really liked this draft. I really liked how they drafted. It just wasn't one pick that I was just like, why did we get this person? What are we doing with our lives? It wasn't just one pick, and I didn't question them throughout the whole pick. I did have that one sense of, okay, why do we draft Leighton? But after seeing what he's capable of doing, I totally understand. So I'm, pretty happy with the Cowboys drafting. Don't ask me who's going to be the number one receiver because I don't know. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But
I was gonna say a couple things. Yeah, real quick. Yeah, so you mentioned the Bo Scarborough thing. That was interesting to me too. Now now it feels like the whole probably the back. I don't know if the back comparison or not, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say it anyway. It just kind of feels like the James Harden, Chris Paul type situation. Like you have James Harden run the first team, then next he dropped 30 on you, and then you got Chris Paul coming in and dropping another 20, 30 on you. And so it's like teams don't know what the hell to do when you got both guys like just, coming one at the other. And so that's how I feel about the whole Zeke thing because, again, you do have the best offensive line still. That has not changed despite the season you had last year. And with Zeke back and don't have to worry about no bullshit suspension, whatever, with Roger Goodell and how that shit went down.
He's not gonna get on that.
That's what I'm saying. We're not gonna get into all of that stuff, but cause I know how you feel exactly about all that shit. And trust me, I think Patriots fans too know how they feel about Goodell. But so I think Zeke's gonna come back with a head full of steam, just kill somebody damn near. And then you got Scarborough behind him. Yeah, it's gonna be a interesting situation.
I think our offense is gonna be a top offense. I think our receiving game. I didn't know if you were gonna address it, but I think our wide receiver, we're not a pass-happy team. So I'm okay with our wide receivers not totaling over 1,000 yards. I'm okay with that. We are a run-based team. We wear teams out by running the ball. And, Dak being in his third year, the verdict is still out.
Yeah.
The verdict is still out. I am a huge Dak fan. Dak is from my dad's hometown. I'm close to my dad's hometown. Okay. I've watched Dak in college, and the season we had last year, it was a disappointing season, even with a winning record.
Right.
And it was one of those. All right, you're year 3, and you're in your prove it year already. I hate it. A lot of other fans hate it, but I hate it for real because we gave Romo 10 years.
Yeah.
To prove it. And it's so funny seeing people switch on that from 2016 to 2017. The only thing changed was his offensive line, was battered up. His receivers did not help him out. His offensive coordinator, I think, snorted a line of coke before each game and zoned out. Don't, Scott Linehan, cool, but no, we're not, no. He had a lot of issues. First half of the season, he had Zeke. Those numbers looked amazing.
Right.
It did not change until the Falcons game when he was a deer in headlights.
Cause you got. I remember it was Tyron Smith that went out, and then next Chaz Green done got beat like a drum. like a Marching Storm drum. It's like, oh man, that was. Yeah, I'll say this too. I actually watched that game. That's like I don't always feel bad for with Dallas Cowboys when they lose games, but that was one of the few times it's like, damn man, there's nothing they can do about that. There was nothing they can do. Because trust me, I understand left tackle issues. Down here in Houston, we traded our best left tackle in franchise history over some personal bullshit. So I understand the whole left tackle thing not being there. That was I was just like, damn, if that could not go any worse than that day. So I think, you know what, personally, I do think that now Dak was going. He got full off season to kind of like, okay, the Bush is done. Of course, the whole Dez thing is out. No matter how that went down. So this year, yeah, and also, yeah, you got the run first offense, which definitely helps the receivers because all they got to worry about is certain plays. They ain't got to worry about carrying the team forward, like, because that's Zeke's job. He happily gonna do that. So
right. I think everybody has us out. Everybody has us in their rearview mirror. Like, okay, what is this team gonna do? They let go of their franchise-leading touchdown, person. They let go of Dez. We have Terrence Williams as technically right now, our number one receiver. Everybody knows how I feel about Terrence Williams.
Yeah.
I don't hate him because he comes in the clutch sometimes, but I don't love him. Everybody knows I talk a lot of trash on Twitter about the Cowboys, and that's where a lot of people do not respect me because of what I say. I don't sugarcoat anything. I don't hold anything back when it comes to the team. I let everybody know how I really feel. And with that being said, I was blocked by Terrence Williams on Twitter. He is a blocker on Twitter. He blocks everybody for anything they say negative.
Oh,
I told him Chris McCaffrey has better hands than him. And at this time, it was a fact.
Yeah.
It was a fact. I can't help the fact that, Christian McCaffrey has better hands than me. But he has this whole thing now that he's going to he's out to prove himself as a number one receiver. And I can't wait to training camp. We have depth at wide receiver right now. We have 10 wide receivers on our roster right now. So I think we'll be okay. I just pray that they didn't make the wrong decision when cutting Dez, and that you lose that leadership. I've been watching. If you haven't noticed the All or Nothing that came out about the Cowboys.
I've been catching up on that. I got a few thoughts about that too.
I binge watched the whole all 8 episodes. I cried at the end. I'm a very emotional person about the Cowboys, if you haven't noticed.
I know.
The team is going into a direction that I think it needs to go in. I think they're getting, to the point where they want a younger team, and that's okay. You have to. It's a business. I hate to say it. It is a business. Yeah. I've been told. My dad told me. Everybody told me while growing up. It's a business. So to see one of my all-time favorite people leave, it hurt. But I understand it was a business. He has not been the same person that he can be. Do I still think he has something left in the tank? Yes. Is he going to get that opportunity? Who knows? It's coming out that no team wants to sign him to the league minimum. So the Dallas Cowboys, I really do feel like they're going in the right direction. It's just, what direction is it? Are we going to go? They saying they want to do the Dak-friendly offense. What is it? Is it just running the ball and not making him throw? Because if anybody doesn't know, in his first season, Dak was one of the most accurate passers down the field, right in the top. This second year, he had accuracy issues. That what happened? Who knows? The whole team lost its focus this past season. So I really think full off season with not having any distractions right now, getting them together, I think will be a good thing for our organization.
Yeah, and I'll say this about this because we don't really have to go into it, but I think my one thing was not, of course, you cut him because, of this cap hit and his production doesn't match, and like you said, it's a business after all. I think my only thing was, damn, they did it so late in the offseason, everybody got signed, everybody got some draft picks, and chances are he probably won't. I think he gets signed somewhere personally because he did. Right, it is reports that he did originally turn down a multi-year deal from the Ravens because he wanted to actually bet
Yeah, it was
on.
a 3 year, 21 million. Three
Yeah,
year, 21 million. He wants this whole 1 year prove it
deal. Yeah,
deal, and why I don't know, but I don't hate him for it. He wants to prove himself that he's still a top caliber
it's that
receiver.
pride. It's that pride, it's that pride, especially at the receiver position, which I personally don't have too much of an issue with. But it's just kind of like, okay, if other teams not going to sign you, then maybe you might want that one back. I don't know. So, like I said, I'll
And,
see.
personally, I think what's hurting Dez right now is the way he went about, right after he got released, he went on this whole, the Cowboys have the Garrett guys pushed me out.
Oh
I just
yeah,
think, the owners are looking at him as a person who cannot take, getting cut. But if anybody knows Dez, it's going to be me. And I'm going to say this, Dez is a passionate football player. Watching All or Nothing, hearing Dez actually say he wanted to quit because he wasn't producing the way he think he should produce, to hear him say he wanted to quit just really just told me that this guy is somebody who knows how much he should be doing in the NFL, what should he be doing. His expectations for himself are so high that if he does not achieve those expectations, he comes down on himself very, very hard. And, Dez is gonna be Dez. Dez is gonna kill. Dez killed the league back in 2014. If Dez is fully healthy, he still has that top 10 caliber receiving skills. He should still be top 10. And if any, like Chad Ochocinco, I actually talked with him a few weeks ago about it. We talked, and he told me, he was like, Dez is a top wide receiver, but the Cowboys don't know how to use him.
right.
And that was my issue. If we can use him, like, if anybody noticed how Julio Jones is used and how Odell Beckham is used, and you see they don't just line them up in one spot at all. They move them around. And our organization didn't do that a lot. Didn't do that a lot. I wish Dez the best. I hate he's not on my team anymore, but like I said, it's a business, and he had to suffer that, but it is what it is right now. I'm not hurt anymore. I am, but life goes on.
Most definitely, and like I hope he gets signed somewhere, and we'll see how everything shakes out the next few months or so. So now, this has been 4 years in the making. So October 7th, we do have the Dallas Cowboys traveling down to Houston to take on the Texans. So I had to ask a resident Cowboys fan, first of all, do you think there is a legitimate rivalry, or is it just kind of like the fun, we're both in the same state kind of game?
I think it is. I think it is a little bit of both.
Okay.
I really think it's a little bit of both, because we are in the same state, for one, like you said, and two, we want to be the top in the state. And, already, the Cowboys, anybody knows me they know I hate bringing up the rings and things like that.
Yeah.
But we are the kind of the top dog in the state, but Houston is right behind us. Y'all have a great team coming back. Y'all have Deshaun Watson, who I am a big fan of, but I can't be a fan of the Texans.
Right.
I just can't.
Oh, no, I understand.
But I think more so it's just that friendly rivalry state,
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun game, depending on, who's injured, who's going to be on the team and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it will be a great game. I'll actually be going to that game, and
oh, nice.
I think, I have to see the Cowboys and the Texans. That's like one of the games that I feel like I have to go. With me being able to work with the Texans back in 2014, I have to, because I actually had to root for them a few times on my job. But
Right.
I think it's just, there's not no rivalry there. Like, it's not a rivalry like we have with the Eagles or the Giants.
Oh yeah, oh
It's
no,
just
that's yeah. Oh no, I'm never on that level.
just the fans.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be something because you got Dak Prescott, you have Deshaun Watson, you have just there's a lot of storylines, and I will say this too. The Texans' only win versus the Cowboys was the actual first game in franchise history.
Right.
Like, so that is the only win that the Texans had over the Cowboys, and of course the last time they played was
game we played.
It was actually lit. It was. Oh yeah.
Y'all were here in Cowboys territory in overtime, and Dez caught that crazy catch. Who was it over?
Jonathan Joseph. Yeah, it was I hate they had my last name in that moment. Oh man.
Him. That was an amazing game.
Yeah,
so, it's been 4 years since that game already, and to see what this team, both teams look completely different,
man,
and to see how this season's gonna go, I just believe it'll be a great game. Each team is gonna be fighting for their lives out there. They want that home state bragging right.
Yeah. Yeah, that Dez Bryant catch, you couldn't do much about that. Dez Bryant is a freak. He's too big for that. In that moment, he was going to win every single time. And then, I always, I try not to bring it up, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. The whole Tony Romo shaking J.J. Watt out his boots, that was unfortunate for J.J. Watt, because I know he was pissed at that time. I know. It was unfortunate. Don't get me wrong, it was the hell of a play, but, because I like Romo, but it was like, damn. Whew. If that had to be you, JJ, that would have been somebody else. Maybe.
That had to be one of my favorite plays to ever see for him. And who actually caught that touchdown was Terrence Williams. So
right.
It's like I said, Terrence Williams has his whole. If Terrence Williams give it, and Terrence Williams take it
away. Oh yeah, you tweet that many times. I always enjoy those. So we're gonna, I think too for a lot, as far as like the game is concerned, I think as you mentioned before, the Cowboys do have the history. The Cowboys been here way longer than the Oilers have been. Because because the Oilers left town and they didn't do much ending in Houston. So it is kind of I would say, dare I say, little brother syndrome.
Right.
To where the Texans kind of like, hey man, we just trying to get our own situation going too. So it is kind of a little brother syndrome when you think about, the two. When you ask about who is more invested in the success of their team in regards to Dallas versus Houston. So it's gonna be a fun game. I'm glad it's a Sunday night game. Personally,
yes.
I'm glad it's early, so we get home and get this out the way.
Correct, and I'll be there. So it's. Y'all will see me talking a lot of trash when it comes to that game. The week leading up to that game, it's going to my Houston fans, my Houston friends, my Texans friends. They're going to hate me that week.
Well, luckily I'm glad I got that ahead of time, so I know. Yeah, it's the week. It's going to happen. That's all right. Don't worry. I'm gonna call my dad all week long and tell him about himself. So trust me, I understand. I do understand. So, and that's gonna be hell of, and I said, so I'll be honest with you. I have 2 games this season. I don't want to look forward because of the whole how big it is. The Dallas games, because I have Dallas friends, of course, and some of them we might break up as being friends that week.
Right.
Also, for me personally, the Texans playing the Broncos. My wife is a native Denver resident. I mean, Broncos tattoo and everything. No, it's gonna be a bad week in that house. So depending on who, it's gonna be a bad week day in that house. Regardless,
I've lived through those. I've had those rivalries of significant others. If you all know, my ex was a Saints fan, so. Trust me, I know how that goes. It's not fun, especially when your team loses. It's not fun at all. So, good luck.
Trust me, the last time the Texans and the Broncos showed up, Brock Osweiler threw a freaking fumble. I am just grateful no one ever mentioned it to me when I went to Denver for Christmas. I'm grateful no one said that to me about that because I've been so heated that week. But that's gonna be a fun matchup. It's gonna be so we're gonna keep going. We're gonna go to these NBA playoffs. So
Ooh, yes.
what is your impression so far about the NBA playoffs?
Everybody knows I hate the Rockets. That's on record.
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody has noticed, I have been cheering for you guys this season. Usually when I do that, y'all tell me to do this epic collapse, and I cannot wait. But my team is the Dallas Mavericks, of course, and we kind of
they've been through some stuff. Let's just say they just been through some stuff.
We tanked in the best way possible. I've never seen the team tank in the way the Dallas Mavericks tanked. Tank in a winning mentality way.
Man, they not only tanked, even Mark Cuban was on record like, "Hey man, you might as well just tank, bro. It's the best way." He was on record.
Yeah.
I was like, man.
To know that we did that, but did it in the fact that we were still trying to win games, that's when I knew I was like, okay, I'm going to have to, find another team to cheer for during this NBA playoff. Yeah. And I was hoping that the Pacers got LeBron out of here. Everybody knows I'm not a huge LeBron fan, but I respect the man.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot not respect him. I respect him. I have the utmost respect for LeBron. He is the best player that I have ever witnessed. And the playoffs have been crazy. I'm rooting for the underdog. I'm going to see the 76ers come out of the East, and I want to see you guys come out of the West. But deep down, I just don't see how the Rockets will face against the Warriors. And granted, I think y'all won the series, the matchups in the regular season.
Yeah, we got home court.
Yeah,
that helps.
Everybody knows when it comes to playoffs, the Warriors are a different breed.
Oh yeah,
and they got Steph back last night, and he picked up where he left off, shooting threes from half court and from literally 35 feet out. And you guys, y'all are about to sweep Utah. So everybody keeps telling me to watch out. It's gonna go seven games, but I think y'all are about to be 4 blowout and chill before the Western Conference Finals. But
I don't.
Finals.
I like a job, but the whole Utah thing, they might get a game, but it's like just watching that first game, like I don't know how they keep up with the Rockets. Now, granted, the Rockets had 5 straight slow starts against Minnesota for some reason. But again, I think it's just more so them coasting for from March to now. So I guess that's part of it. And I want the Warriors. I want the Rockets. When KD went to Golden State, I'm like, yes, because it'd be much sweeter when the Rockets actually beat them. If they actually beat them, it'd be so much sweeter. So I'm waiting. I really want them. I want them to meet. Honestly, although I would not mind it if the Pelicans do beat them. There's another shocking team. I wouldn't mind it. I know it's not going to happen, but I would love for the Pelicans to beat the Warriors because anyway, I'll be good with that. I'm not going to be the whole, well, we didn't beat the Warriors, so our ring don't really count. Nah, man, a ring is a ring. No matter how you get it, no matter what the circumstances are, you get that ring. Because as you all know, I'm a Rockets fan, and we got to live with the whole, well, if MJ didn't retire, they would have won 8 straight. Right. So I got to live with that. Also, the Pacers got my respect because they traded Paul George for what we thought was nothing, but they actually got the steal. They actually won that trade, just if you base off of results. Because OKC, whew, man, what a disappointment! It is such a disappointment. I don't even know what. Honestly, I'm just gonna be direct. Is it time to call Westbrook the problem?
It's time to have the discussion.
Okay, that's fair enough.
It's time to have the discussion. I think Westbrook is the issue. And I'm saying that because you had last season Westbrook, he didn't have as much help as he did this year. But this series against Utah, you know, Westbrook, I think, is the cancer. I hate to say it. I just really think Westbrook is the cancer. Granted, you paid Melo all this money and he didn't show up. He had 5 points in a closeout game. Paul George. That team was destined to at least get out of the first round.
Man, at least like yeah, it was crazy because I remember too when I can't remember if it was Melo getting traded to the Thunder or the I think it was Melo. It was like I one either the Paul George or Melo with the Thunder. And Stephen A. Smith's like, damn, I feel bad for Chris Paul because the Thunder finna take these boys out the paint. And I was just like, and I think, but too, I'll say this, I believe part of it's on Westbrook because he has that 100% motor, like 100 miles per hour the entire time motor, and he just don't know when to like, okay, I need to calm down. Also, it's on Billy Donovan, the coach, because he's too scared to tell Russ, hey man, calm down, bro, calm your nerves, we're gonna be good, calm down. Which is probably why he ended up taking like 43 shots in that closeout game, and it was, like I said, mind you too, not to mention they played against a rookie, a team with a rookie as the number one option, and they just could not, they decided not to have anybody check Donovan Mitchell. Now, granted,
I just want to go on record, Donovan Mitchell is the league MVP.
League MVP?
He's the league MVP. Mitchell is going to be a problem in the coming years. He's a problem now.
Man.
But for Westbrook and OKC to not be able to get past Utah, that says something about that organization.
Man.
Is it something about the coach, or is it something about the players? You have to really address that come this offseason.
Yeah, because it's not, like I said, it makes a whole hell of a lot of sense now, like why KD just kind of left and not really tell nobody he was leaving.
Right.
Like, it makes, because Westbrook didn't even know. And for me, it's like, he don't owe Russ anything, and that's probably why he don't owe Russ anything, because we see what happened in that first round. And, and like it's important to note that Russ has not been out of the first round, even though it's been 2 years since KD left. And granted, last year it was James Harden and the Rockets. And this year is Donovan Mitchell. He's who I would say on record he is a strong candidate for Rookie of the Year. Like, I'm not going to get into the whole is Ben Simmons an actual rookie, because that's getting tired out. Because Donovan Mitchell is great in his own right. I'm not going to take away anything from Donovan Mitchell, but yeah, that's still a problem. You cannot beat a first year rookie. I should say.
You cannot shut down Donovan Mitchell. He's a first year player, and the Utah team is not really that good.
No, that's really the crazy thing, because even like now watching the Rockets game 1 with Utah, Rudy Gobert has not showed up defensively yet. We just for some reason, I guess I could give a shout out to Clint Capella, because he's been dominated. He dominated Karl-Anthony Towns, who disappeared for some reason, who got scared of bright lights, and Rudy Gobert. This is not Gobert for his playoff run. Like, well, then I guess technically it is, because I think he was out last season in the playoffs. But either way it goes, Gobert should not be letting Capella punk him.
Exactly. He should. Even though Clint Capella is a dominant player, and I have loved seeing him develop his game. I remember when he first got his first start, and I remember seeing some Rockets fans wondering what this guy was made of, and to see him develop into the center that he has come to be so far, to me that just shows that he's not here to play games. He wants to win.
And you know what's crazy about Capella? Like, he is the one draft pick in Daryl Morey's entire tenure with the Rockets that not only stick around on the team, but actually started for the team. Like, every other draft pick that Daryl Morey had signed or drafted, either to get traded away or they just don't last long in the league. And he has his own now. Granted, can we say his part is the system that helped him out? Sure, but he took the opportunity and just ran with it. So I'm happy to see that for him. And
I did not know that. That shows you how much he's grown. That just shows you how much he's grown in these years that he's been in the league. And
that's the crazy thing. He is the one guy, because He is one guy. Cause I ain't gonna lie. I personally, I did want to trade it. I was on record about that, but that's just more so because of who I thought was a little bit better.
I remember seeing those tweets from a lot of Rockets fans.
But I'm glad that I had to make a public apology to Clint Capella. I made a public apology. He's done numbers. He's going to get paid this summer. So he is a restricted free agent. So he's going to get his money.
He's going to get his money. And
he deserves every bit of it. He going to get his money. I don't know if it's going to be because teams just want to take away from the Rockets or just because he's that damn dominant. But he's going to get his bread. So big ups to him. Hopefully he stays. Really hope the Rockets kind of keep everything together because
y'all have a good team.
We got a little bit good situation with Chris Paul and how Chris Paul pretty much traded his rights over to the Rockets, so we can re-sign him to get over the cap. So it's going to be an interesting off season, which I guess we get to a little bit real quick as far as just kind of looking ahead. Actually, you know what? Let's talk about the other basketball team in San Antonio. What the hell's going on with Kawhi Leonard?
I have no idea.
Like, what the hell? Like that threw me for in the whole. I think it's crazy. I think that I don't know. I think the Spurs fans now kind of like learning to be a little bit more humble, so to speak. I guess in a sense. I mean, granted, I don't think they would beat the Warriors even with Leonard this year, but
yeah, I don't think they would have either.
I do think that as far as them realizing that, for one, players are not going to just bow down. Like Kawhi Leonard is actually, he's looking out for himself. He has his own personal medical team, and everybody's like, he's quitting the team. He's good to go. Like, I don't think he's good to go, mentally at least.
That situation down there, it was a weird situation to me. For them to give him the green light to be able to go, and then Kawhi not wanting to play. I just don't see Kawhi going back next year. I don't know where he'll land up, but I don't know where he'll land. But I just don't. I think it was just he didn't want to be there. He didn't fit in. When he played. He had some great games down there.
Yeah.
But I think it just got to the point, after his injury, he just wasn't happy. He just wasn't happy with the situation down there.
Yeah, because especially with the Spurs trying to rush him back, and he's just like, no, I'm good to go. I won't be rushed back. And personally, I think he ends up in LA somehow. Personally, right. I don't know if it's going to be a trade or it's going to be because he just went there on his own. But personally, I say the Lakers because Lakers do have the cap space now to get
cap space to sign anybody that they want.
They can sign pretty much anybody. They probably might sign Paul George because I heard that he might not even go back to OKC despite giving love to Russ in public, which people I don't know. But yeah, that was a weird situation, man. But like I said, we're gonna see. So we're gonna get down on this real quick. So I know you kind of mentioned it. I guess you kind of pretty much said the Warriors, I guess / Rockets, maybe in the NBA Finals come out the West.
Yeah.
And then I know the other team was like, Philly? They do have the easier route.
Want Philly, but deep down I know it's going to be the Cavs. But I want Philly to come out. I want to see Ben Simmons, and that team is dangerous. Man, that is here to stay for a while.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a problem because they're gonna be a little bit of an issue because you got Ben Simmons who everybody's just pretty much saying he's a LeBron-ish type, which I don't think that should be the next LeBron. I think that should be the first. It should be the only Ben Simmons personally. So he's gonna be a problem. You got Joel Embiid for everybody make the comparison to Hakeem Olajuwon back in the day.
Right.
So of course.
I like these players to grow up and be their own person. I per se don't like the comparisons that these analysts give some of these players. Granted, I know it, but I just know that these players have their own. They have their own game. They have their own style of play. They can model it after somebody who's been in the NBA in the past, but they're still their own type of person. Right. Their own players. They have their own unique
personality.
Yeah, they have their own personality. But Ben Simmons, that's somebody that I know will be around in the long run, and hope no other injury holds him back.
Right.
Because to see him blossom this season to where he is, it's been amazing.
Yes, it has. It's definitely been. Like I'll say this about Ben Simmons, he is a savage. He do not care what you think. He said, "Screw your unwritten rules. I'm gonna do what I want because my name is Ben Simmons." Man, I like the kid too. I like the kid. I think he's running away with the Rookie of the Year personally. Again, I don't care for everybody's rules about what a rookie is supposed to be. The NBA have their own rules for a reason. So Ben Simmons is the Rookie of the Year. We didn't make this much fuss with Blake Griffin won it. So, that's number one thing. Real quick, I'm sorry I keep on a little bit of tangent, but the whole thing about Ben Simmons versus Donovan Mitchell, personally, Mitchell winning Rookie of the Year would not hurt me or make me upset. I think that people are trying to use the whole technicality against Ben Simmons, which actually helped Ben Simmons. So I don't know what people are doing. They playing themselves.
I can see that take on it.
So they definitely playing themselves when they try to bring up the definition of a rookie. Like they missed the part where they say playing in his first year. I don't know. That's just me personally.
Because he's been injured, and I understand it. I totally understand it. But also, I think what also helped him was Donovan Mitchell and all his hoodies.
Yeah.
I felt like he was drawing too much attention to himself. This is your first year. We know it's your first year. There's no need to do all of that.
Yeah, and it's like, Grant. That's what I'm saying. It's like, Donovan Mitchell play alone can win him Rookie of the Year. Yeah. Like, so why don't you focus on your numbers versus trying to disqualify somebody over a rule that's been in place since forever?
Correct.
Because Blake Griffin won it after technically his second year in the NBA. So it's like nobody really. And Joel Embiid was actually in the running for Rookie of the Year. So yeah, that's my whole thing about it. Like don't distract from the play, trying to get over on a rule that you don't agree with. Like that's whatever. Either way, both of them had fantastic season. They both have fantastic playoff runs so far. So we'll see, and they both could be a problem.
They can. The league is in trouble with them now.
They in trouble with a whole lot of stars because a whole lot of them are under 25 years old. Like you have Karl-Anthony Towns, you have the Greek Freak, Ben Simmons, Donovan Mitchell, Jason Tatum, Markelle Fultz, if he get his stuff.
Dennis Smith, I am.
Oh yeah, Dennis Smith Jr. Dennis Smith Jr. is definitely a big one. He is definitely the bright spot in Dallas. He's gonna be there forever. I'm just calling it now. He's gonna be there forever.
He is. I won't say that I paid a lot of attention to the Mavs season this year because that awful record we have, but I paid attention to Dennis Smith Jr. and that guy, that young man right there. Is going to be issue.
The Knicks should have took him. They had a chance. I think they passed. They passed on him. They should have took him.
Yeah, they passed, but he is going to be an issue in years to come.
Yes, he's going to be a problem.
At the end of the season, he started developing a better shot, and that's what I'm excited to see next season when we have some more pieces around him.
Yeah, like I say, it's gonna be a time. I can't wait for all three Texas teams to actually be fighting each other for the top spot versus a team in California trying to be the top dog. But not here or there. But man, this has been fun. I really appreciate you coming on. It's been a long time coming, actually.
Yes, it has. And I really appreciate you having me come on and listening to me, my crazy sport takes and all of that. I really, even though you've been one to support me my whole way and want to see me make it, I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to come on and just ramble about sports for this past hour.
Oh yeah, that's what it's all about, man. It's all about just giving people a platform to speak on what they feel, what they know. Man, we gonna definitely meet up again when it's, especially when it's time for the Cowboys and the Texans. That's gonna have to be the preview week. Like we gonna have to like get in deep on that one. So, man, I appreciate you joining. I really appreciate the joining. Everybody else that's listening, if you listen to this whole thing, appreciate y'all. You know, you can catch it on Podbean, YouTube, iTunes, Google Play, and you know, appreciate you guys checking out the episode. Thank you again to Shamaria Knowles. I'm glad I got that name right at the very end. Whew. And appreciate you again for joining us. And you know, again, guys, kind of a quick note. I am might be taking a little bit of break soon because you know my wife is about to graduate from PB, and I got she's about to graduate, and I'm going to try to get her kind of spend some time with before she actually leaves. She actually going out of the country for a while. As part of I know. I wish I would have went because but work and stuff. It's all good.
It's sacrifices.
Sacrifices. Trust me. Anyway, I'm taking a little bit of a small break after I might do one more episode after this, but I'll let you guys know. But again, thank you again, Shamaria, for joining me. Thank you guys for listening, and as always, I'll check you guys out later.